Oh, hello everyone. It's Stephen North, and I'm here today to talk about an experience that we've had this week on the topic of twin flames. I was meant to do it yesterday, but yesterday saw me so exhausted that I couldn't even clear Channel Amy or anything. So I spent most of it pretty much resting. It was actually rather funny. I woke up early in the morning, went and sat on the couch to talk to Mum, and fell asleep again. So, that's kind of why this got delayed. Anyway, what I'm here to talk about is really the concern that we have had on this whole twin flame experience in regards to that at the human level and through my own personal experiences. This week I've had someone come to me and spend 2 hours trying to convince me that this one person is their twin flame, when in fact it completely wasn't, because it's kind of the path to awakening is to experience this whole false twin kind of relationship, which is all about triggering in order to create the awakening. So rather than going down the path of I did, which is where you start to understand why you're experiencing certain things with a friendship or a partner, and then start looking for the internet, we find that the internet is actually not entirely accurate because of what is going on. As Amy explained to me when I was trying to understand why I had these experiences 3 years ago, even longer, was that she was saying, your marriage was karmic. Then you have to have another karmic relationship that teaches you what love is not. Then you have a false twin flame experience, and that teaches you what love is, but what love isn't, in order to prepare you to get to or to prepare me for connecting with the twin flame experience as the spirit guide. Because truth be known, majority of people have spirit guides which are their twin flame, and if you actually recognize that the longing that you have for that connection with the twin flame is because they are the spirit guide, and with this connection you can achieve much more than a non-twin flame spirit guide, and Amy has spoken about that in her video. So I'm more focusing on the mental health aspect, which is the destruction, the devastation, the belief systems, the anchoring of a label that is designed to force someone to... I'm trying to figure out the best way to explain this. So in the conversation that I had with Amy, I looked at it and said, why do people have this belief system that this person is it, this person is it, when you can have the same connection with anyone? And we started, and Amy was doing this visualization technique where if you have two people, if you have an emotional investment in someone, you're going to create chords, you're going to create energetic connections. If you get physical with them, you're going to create the merging within the chakras. So what everyone is defining as a twin flame type connection can be had with anyone because of the way that the emotional alchemy works between two aspects of energy. So you can actually, through the power of thought, create a twin flame experience with someone who's completely not even connected in any way, shape or form. But in the end, because everything goes back to, if you follow the tree of life, you're going back to the one source, which is the one God point. Therefore everyone is a connection, no matter which way you look at it. It's kind of like opening the doorway that every person can be a twin flame, because you're all an aspect of one. Therefore the twin flame theory doesn't even exist, because it's all back to one. So we understand that in my situation, that because the human body is able to connect with any living thing, you can create a twin flame kind of experience that the internet defines as a twin flame experience with a tree, with an animal. And it really started having to look at, and once I understood that, I started looking at the emotional and the mental concerns where people create a form of identity around this whole experience, where you kind of go, well, this is the way that I believe and I expect a twin flame relationship should be, and if it's not, I'm trying to force it to happen. I've experienced where the person that you have a loving friendship with, and you have fallen into this belief system that they are the twin flame, you start trying to encourage them that, okay, they should really divorce their partner or leave their partner because you're the twin flame experience, because I've said so, because the internet has said so, and then you try and force the way the relationship should work because you've got this belief system that this relationship should be because of what everything is said, because what everyone has told you. And unfortunately everything that has been written really isn't actually accurate, because we must understand that over 3,000 years ago a system got introduced to really slave humanity and create these forms of experiences. On another aspect, what I have seen as well is that this whole kind of, you're my twin flame but I'm not going to really do this sort of thing, and kind of leads into the whole awakening system, which is really fascinating, because this is why it's just been a big topic and why I'm stumbling a lot at the moment, because it is such a huge topic in the sense that for me it triggered the awakening. It brought on death, it brought on the death of identity. It was like, if this is what is happening, the whole rejection, the whole not talking to each other, the whole, okay, you go to a psychic and the psychic says, yes, you two are twin flames, you're meant to do all this work together, but you're not having that same, you're not receiving that same information from someone else, so then you go, no, you must be wrong because this person says it, and all of a sudden you turn into this mental clusterfuck, and it's really just not healthy at all. So the whole message of what I've been trying to figure out in how to say it in words and explain it is that with the whole twin flame label, the whole soulmate label, we need to get rid of it. It's not healthy for us, because there have been so many people that have been destroyed by it. There's been so many people that have left partners under this magical belief system that they're going to have the perfect relationship, but it's all about death, it's all about falling apart, it's all about coming together and then changing and bringing change and creating and deleting belief systems. And it's a really huge disruption system. Understanding that there are people that are in a twin flame union, because I was with Amy in the 60s, and the memories that I have of every time we've had this connection, every time we've incarnated together, and we've got many times because we've done things completely different, is just about love and growth and supporting each other and supporting one another, which is why I don't understand why there's so much narcissism and arguing and so much distortion in these connections. So it really is that we need to start looking at love being love, that you can have a beautiful loving connection with all these experiences that is being defined as being able to feel their emotions, being able to think about when they're thinking of them and all this sort of stuff, because you can have that with anyone, and all you need to do is connect in and create the bond between two humans, or physical and spirit, or physical and tree, or whatever you want to call it. You can create it, you can manufacture it, because thought is an offset of consciousness. So if you are a consciousness, you can create anything you wish with that experience. So the whole important message is that I have seen so many people destroy themselves because of this whole twin flame experience. And it's not the experience of the twin flame union, because of the whole belief system saying this is my twin flame and introducing it as a label. And we've got to get rid of these fucking labels, because they are destructive. They are so destructive, and the entire spiritual community that carries on about this stuff needs to go, because it's just so destructive to the human. You know, it's like, I have seen one person who has over 50 twin flames, because every time he's in a relationship, he convinces that woman that they're the twin flame, and then he takes them for granted and uses them, and off to another woman, and off to another woman, off to another. It's like, the only person I've seen that has 50 twin flames. Like, come on. I've had women tell me how they've fallen for this whole person saying you're my twin flame, and it's like, once you realize that they are, and the other person doesn't believe it, you try and manipulate them to believing that they are. And then when things don't work out, you kind of go crush it, and you just get into this really mental funk, going, why is this not working? Because I believed it. And you really anchor your identity into this belief system, and when it's destroyed, you just turn into whatever, substance abuse, like I did with alcohol, trying to work with the emotions and run away from them. And it's really such a huge growth experience. And with the awakening happening again this year, because it happens in every 4 years, as we've witnessed, because if we had the entire planetary system going through an awakening all at the same time, the mental plane would just be so overwhelmed. And we've made this accident on another planetary system before, where we tried to raise the awareness for everyone at the same time. It has to be done in cycles. It has to be done slowly. It cannot be accelerated. So you have these waves of cycles, and it's kind of calculated to be 4 years, because I'm now watching someone who's walking my identical path, and I'm just like, what the heck's going on here? This is bizarre. So the biggest message, and it's also present in Amy's loving video, is that we need to get rid of these labels. We really need to, because love is love. Every person is capable of love. You don't need to be a twin flame to experience love. You don't need to be a soulmate to experience love. We are all capable of it, and that is the biggest message that we have to have. It's the message that we need to give, because we don't need labels to experience love. And this whole spiritual community that's focusing so much on these labels, that are writing 10 ways to understand that you are in a twin flame union, can all just fuck off, because it's so destroying to those that are beginning to walk the spiritual path and moving their way into oneness. Whether that's part of the plan, I don't know, I don't care. It's kind of like I can create a business specifically on helping people that have been misled by this twin flame experience and make a lucrative living out of it. And that's what we should not be doing, because we need to be educating people that love is love. Go have a relationship, go have a loving experience, and do not sit there and go, I'm sorry, you're not good enough because you're not my twin flame. And that's what I'm seeing, and that's what needs to go. Especially when the majority of twin flames are spirit guides. I was saying to a friend last night, I said, I can just imagine, what a spirit guide is like. I mean, I can just imagine what Amy would have felt with me going to another person, oh, you're my twin flame, and Amy standing with me, going, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. And in actual truth, if it wasn't for that time when Amy introduced herself and saying she is the twin flame, I could have been in much more devastating mental health, because it really was an emotional period. And that change in perspective was so important to understand that, yes, I had a false twin flame contract where the person I had multiple lifetimes with was ending all karma in one go. And it was we designed the contract in the way that it would have such a twin flame, to have the replication of a twin flame experience, to force the blast awakening. So it was really painful and sore, and in one of the sessions we spoke about the pain in the body and how it represented death. And if we completely let go of this whole identity of trying to force people to accept a label, then perhaps we can avoid all the traumas and all the pains and all the heartache of what I've experienced, what many others have experienced, and really transition to a new world, so we don't have to repeat these patterns over and over and over again. And so, yeah, I hope that makes sense. A lot of this information I'm going to have to draft, because I couldn't figure out how to write this in an article, but wanted to get it out there. So yeah, please, let it go. Love be love. Thank you very much. My name is Stephen North, and I will write some form of article to explain my thoughts in a more clear manner. Thank you very much. Have a lovely day.